Students, welcome to yet another class of social science. I am your social science teacher Bhavna Sharma. Before starting today's class, let us quickly revise what we did in the previous class related to chapter 2 inside our earth. In previous class we discussed about the process that led to the formation of different layers inside our earth. We also discussed about the division of Earth's interior into three layers, namely crust, mantle, and core. We also discussed the various features of these three layers. Today, in the chapter Inside Our Earth, we are going to discuss about the meaning of rocks, the types and the formation of the rocks, how rocks are useful in our daily life, and the process through which one type of rock is changing into another. Afterward, we are going to discuss about the meaning as well as the uses of minerals for human beings. Let us start with the meaning of the rocks first. Rock is the natural mineral mass that makes the earth crust. That means we can find the rocks on the topmost layer of the earth, that is crust, and all the rocks are of different types based on the texture, color and size. Texture means when you touch you will feel the differences. The color, as you know, they are having variety of colors and shapes as well. The Earth's crust is mostly made up of various types of rocks. There are three major types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. The igneous rock is again further divided into two types: intrusive igneous and extrusive igneous. Let us see in the next slide how these types of rocks are being formed. Students, let us see how the igneous rocks are formed. Igneous rocks are formed through the cooling and solidification of magma or lava after it erupted from the volcano. The igneous rocks are classified by cooling time and the type of magma it is formed from. The igneous rocks differ with their chemical composition, grain structure, texture, and color. There are two types of igneous rocks based on the solidification of magma that comes out from the magma chamber inside the Earth's surface. The extrusive rocks are formed by the rapid cooling of molten magma on the Earth's surface. These types of rocks are smooth, crystalline, and fine grained. They are also known as volcanic rocks, whereas intrusive igneous rocks are formed from magma that cools and solidifies inside the Earth's crust. They are coarse grained as they are formed by slow cooling magma. Sedimentary rocks are formed by the deposition of sediments, broken down fragments of rocks at the Earth's surface and within water bodies. Sedimentary rocks may also contain fossils, that is, remains of the dead plants and animals trapped in the layers of rocks, of plants, animals, and other microorganisms that once lived on them. Afterwards, all these things are deposited, compacted, and give the formation to sedimentary rocks. Here are few examples of igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic rocks. Let us see, in igneous rocks we are having granite and pumic stone. The granite which we are using for the flooring as well as the kitchen slabs. In sedimentary we are having sandstone, limestone, shale, gypsum. These types of rocks are also used under constructional activities. Metamorphic, we are having marble and slate. You must have seen all these three rocks in our day-to-day life. Rocks are very useful in our life. The first use of rocks are for constructional activities like constructing buildings or roads. Another use of rocks are for chemicals used in fertilizers and medicine industries. We are also using rocks to make chalks for writing on the boards. Along with it, we are using rocks as a fuel like crude oil and coal. Last but not the least, we are also using rocks for constructing statues. We are also using rocks as precious stones like gold and silver. The process of transformation of rock from one to another is known as the rock cycle. This rock cycle turn up under heat, pressure and chemical change, wherein one type of rock is transformed into another. But this process is not a very quick process. It's a gradual, so sometimes it takes hundreds or thousand years. So the rocks come from the lava and go back to lava. But in the process, they might change from one type to another. When the molten magma cools, it solidifies to become igneous rocks. We also know that the igneous rocks, when broken down into small particles, that are transported and deposited to form sedimentary rocks. When these igneous and sedimentary rocks are subjected to heat and pressure, they change into metamorphic rocks. Again, the metamorphic rock which are still under great heat and pressure melt down to form molten magma. This molten magma again can cool down and solidity into igneous rocks. So students, this process again and again going on without breaking. So these three types of rocks changing their types from one to another under heat, pressure and chemical change. Minerals are naturally occurring substances which have certain physical properties and definite chemical compositions. They are always present beneath the earth's crust in the mantle where molten rock flows as liquid magma. Like rocks, as we have already discussed, minerals are very useful for human beings. For example, coal, natural gas and petroleum we are using as a fuel. Sometimes we are using lead in pencils. Iron, aluminium, gold, uranium, etc. are also used in industries. We are using diamond in jewelry. We are also using the minerals in medicines as well as in fertilizers. As we have done the today's content, let us quickly recap what we have done today. We have discussed about the meaning of rocks, and these are the natural mineral mass that makes up the earth's crust. Rocks are broadly classified into three categories: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. Igneous, which are formed by the magma that comes out from the earth's surface. It is again further subdivided into intrusive and extrusive rock. Sedimentary rocks are formed by weathering and deposition of sediments, whereas metamorphic rocks are formed when both igneous and sedimentary rocks undergo high heat and pressure. When all these three rocks are transforming from one to another type, it develops a rock cycle. We have also discussed the meaning of minerals, that is, naturally occurring substances having definite chemical and physical property. We have also done the usefulness of both rocks and minerals in our daily life. So students, that's all for today. I hope you understood. Stay safe, stay healthy.